Hi there, welcome to day 14. I don't know why I've got 16 out. Yeah, day 14. So working on the right hand side of my page and starting with this foundation page, which is really super simple, a prompt page, 6x8 from In a Creative Bubble, stitched, messy stitch onto a piece of pattern paper from the same collection to just extend it a little bit and add in a bit of extra interest. I have one 3x4 card, photo, which is printed smaller than 3x4, so I can mat it onto a piece of pattern paper, or in this case a journal card. I want to use the colour of this card. I'm actually going to put it on upside down because I've worked out that that way I can still get the happy holidays showing at the top with a border all the way around like that. And this is capturing an in the moment story about going to the doctors. So not all happy holidays. There's a bit of irony in some of the sentiments that I'm going to bring in, but keeping it real. And putting that, I want that border around it really. There we go. So I have from In a Creative Bubble, I've brought in this Bar Humbug for a little bit less irony, on the nice list because of asking to go on a list for a scan, and this really cute snowflake appears twice else, so in two other places in the die cut set for this collection. So I have this slightly enlarged, I can't find my words today, a slightly enlarged version of the snowflake, and here as well. And I'm thinking I either want to keep it on its own, so just one snowflake like it is, or 3 snowflakes. But they are larger. I want to hide festive and fun because there's irony and then there's just being a bit snarky, and I don't want to be too snarky. But where that is totally in alignment with this snowflake, and that is a little bit too precise for me. I like things to be more off center. So I could bring it up here, but then it's not hiding it. So where I really want the snowflake to be is what I'm trying to say is about here. And then another one, say here, or even here. I like that triangle. This feels like everything. I mean, I could bring it over here. It's got to be more equilateral, I guess, if it was like that, which I'm not so keen on. So I'm thinking, could I offset it like I wanted to? There's a bit of a tear here where the cutting machine had a, maybe offset it like that with this over here, or even like this. That one works better, doesn't it? So I've got that triangle. I don't like it, no. So we've got Bar Humbug, which doesn't quite do the job. A large 14, which is a bit too big. I've got this large but very soft 14. I might just keep the festive and fun if it's going to be that problematic. I quite like that on there, or even that one. I might go really clean and keep this. I'd like to cover the today's date, so I'll put that on the nice list down here. I think Bar Humbug isn't really necessary. I did bring this in as something that was for a little bit of additional shape. I'm wondering whether to kind of cluster things here. That's soft number 14, which doesn't really stand out, but that's okay. Bringing that there, I like that. No need for that either. I'm wondering if I've got a word phrase sticker. I don't really need to write doctors or anything like that. Or I could have even brought in a pattern here and stitched over the top. I'm messing around deliberately to give you some options if you have this paper and you're thinking about it yourself. I think I'm going to go with that. Yeah, I think. Is that weird? Does that look weird? I'm going to put a puffy sticker in there. Let me get my journaling on first and then see what it's like. Right, I have written my journaling on. I've moved that on the nice list to the top, and I'm going to lightly tack this here and aim to, so if I lift this, if I can, I'm going to staple this 14 but in a place where hopefully you won't see it because it will be underneath that piece of holly. I don't mind seeing staples normally, quite like the texture of them, but I just don't want it on this one. Yeah, that will be fine. And then for down here, I have a strip of Inner Creative Bubble pattern which I've trimmed from this card, and I'm going to just adhere this down, and then when I have my sewing machine out, I'll run this through the machine, so I'll remember not to stick this. Yeah, that's nice. Or do I actually want a little bit of the white around it? Yeah, I think I do. There we go, so that little border around there. And then I think for here, it's either going to be one of those sparkly red hearts again, which I think might look quite nice. Yeah, so one there. They're really lifting, trying to leave their sticky behind on the backing. Just looking for the colour. That's the triangle there, look, so everything's contained within the triangle. Here it's kind of lost, which is why I'm going to put it over here, interacting with both, well, all three of those. So interacting with the edge of the mat of the paper, and that word phrase sticker. So there we go. Cute. Yeah, simple, easy, interesting little story, but one that is very poignant for me personally and very powerful to have in this year's album. Yeah, there we go. So thank you for watching day 14, and I will see you again soon for day 15. Bye for now.